Hello, and welcome to one of the best Raws we've had in a while. This was way better than the Saturday night's main event we just had. This was way better than WrestlePalooza we had a few months ago. This Raw was insane, and shout out the GOAT. We'll get to it. You already see it on the picture, but we got a lot to talk about. This was such an unbelievable Raw. It was so amazing. We got to get right into it. And we get kicked off with Triple H, which everybody said Cena was kicking off the show, and then Triple H was in the ring, which was kind of funny. But Triple H, he throws a few shots at the internet wrestling community. You know, he's like, no, but everybody disagrees on everything nowadays. But one thing that you can't disagree with is the greatness of the greatest of all time, the one, the only, John Cena. Now, Cena runs down last time in Boston. He, of course, thanks Boston. Oh, man, I was getting emotional during this promo. I'm not from Boston or anything, but, you know, just it's his hometown, and he's just, like, so grateful. You can just tell that he's grateful that he got to have this run. And he makes an announcement that Saturday night's main event, it's going to be holding exhibitions for main roster guys to go up against NXT guys. Maybe I'll be making a video about that right after this. I don't know, hypothetically. No, I'm definitely going to make a video about that, doing some NXT X main roster dream matches. But look out for that right after this one. But Cena, he keeps going, he keeps thanking Boston, and gets interrupted by Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And Dom was talking to Triple H about what are you going to do about last week when my deadbeat dad was saying all this stuff, and Cena's like, I don't, if you're going to challenge, because Dom, he confronts Cena, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm better than you. Like, what are you doing? And Cena goes, I'm invincible tonight. Nobody's going to knock me off tonight, and if you want to pick a fight, oh, you got a bad thing coming. And Dominic claps back and he says, oh, Cena, I'd kick your ass in any time, any place, and in any era. And Triple H goes, well, this seems like a pretty good era. This seems like a pretty good place. And I don't think that there's any better time than right now. John Cena versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And oh man, just the goatness and the aura-ness of John Cena was just so powerful throughout this match. It was such a joy to watch. It wasn't a match that was at the level of the AJ Styles or even the Logan Paul match. You know, it was a very textbook Cena match, but it's on a Raw. He's not going to go crazy. But man, Dominic was great. He hits the chair, throws it to Cena. But what does Cena do? Cena just drops the chair and just lays right next to it. The ref's all confused. Dom tries to cheat again with the belt later in the match. Cena hits him with an AA, but Dominic kicks out. And then the sadness happens. Dom trips Cena, hits a 619, frog splash. Or does he hit the frog splash? No. Cena rolls through. Attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. And the new Intercontinental Champion, John Cena. And the champ is here. Cinema. Everything about this was amazing. I loved this so much. I am so glad Cena is now Grand Slam Cena. It is great. And when we come back from commercial, he's backstage with Sheamus, Stephanie Vaquer, Alpha Academy's there. But then he sees Ray and Ray goes, yep, that was a deserved ass kicking. And Cena's like, I hope he learned his lesson. You know, he's a good kid, but I hope that this learned his lesson. And we get WWE Champion Cody Rhodes giving this new mid-card guy a little rub, I guess. Nah, this was such a cool moment. You know, they're both holding belts. the original Cena and then the new Cena. Ooh, my voice is cracking a little bit. We're gonna fight through it anyway. But this was a cool little moment. You know, they've had all their feud throughout this year, but just seeing them you know, shake hands and like, hey, like you're a great champion was amazing. I loved all of this like Cena-ness that we got. And I'm sad we didn't get any more Cena throughout the night, you know. I mean, you could have had him appear during the Last Time Is Now tournaments, but you know, he's a busy guy, so I get it. Speaking of the Last Time Is Now tournament, we got the first match of it, which is Damian Priest versus Rusev. Now, this was a hard-hitting match like you would expect, and it was a fun one. The ending kind of caught me off guard, because Rusev just hits a Machka kick and advances. You know, it was a fun match, but just the ending, just with the kick, I didn't expect Priest to tap out or anything, but I expected a little more to take out Priest just based on how he's been booked. But Rusev advances. I think it's the right call, and I'm excited to see Rusev's next match. But we go backstage to Adam Pearce and Maxine Dupree, and Pearce is like, hey, are you ready for Becky? And Maxine goes, yes and no, but I guess I'm ready. You know, I guess I'll take my title match. And Pearce is like, perfect, next week, Madison Square Garden. You got your shot. And Becky blindsides Maxine Dupree like, you're not going to beat me. Pretty cool. Is Maxine going to win? Is AJ Lee going to return? I'm going to say it every week until it happens. But I definitely think next week is the time it's going to happen. But let's go to AJ Lee's husband, CM Punk. He calls out Logan Paul. He calls out that douchebag, that piece of garbage, Logan Paul. And Logan Paul comes out. But he is followed by the Vision. And they start getting a little closer, and Punk goes, I'll fight all 5 of you. And that's because I'm counting Heyman twice. Because he's fat. The Vision starts to circle the ring, and main event Jey Uso is here to back up CM Punk, but they're still outnumbered. Still 2 versus 3. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, he runs in, and the brawl is on. Cody, Jay, and Punk, they fight off the Vision, and I wrote in my notes, it's definitely leading to War Games. Which, it does, but we gotta get to that first. And now let's go to our second title match of the night. It was supposed to be the first, but, you know, we got that impromptu one. So, I wrote a note here, and I said I love how Raquel is working as a giant. She does so good in this role. I loved it. It was great. It was a very fun match. Roxanne tried to get involved at one point, but Nikki Bella stops her. Vaquer hits her patented corkscrew moonsault. It's not a spiral tap. And still women's world champion is Stephanie Vaquer. Right call. Kinda had a feeling something was going to go on during this match. Maybe Raquel was going to end up winning somehow, but it didn't happen. And Roxanne Perez tries to attack Stephanie Vaquer, but Nikki Bella stops her. Not letting that happen. And then Bella holds up Vaquer's arm, but then turns on her. This is what I saw this coming from 100 miles away. As soon as I saw Nikki come out with Stephanie Vaquer, I go, it's happening. And this match is going to end up happening probably at Survivor Series, which I'm totally down for. I'm kind of actually excited for this match, even though Nikki Bella's coming off of 3 losses in a row. Don't really know if that gets you a title shot, but you're a Hall of Famer, so I guess it does. But let's go backstage to when Jay, Cody, and Punk and Adam Pearce are all talking. And Punk, he's like, Pearce is like, well, how are you guys? And Punk goes, physically we're all okay, but we're pissed. You know, we're tired of games. Adam Pearce kind of looks at him. He's like, are you saying what I think you are? And Punk kind of looks over to the side and yells, Regal! William Regal, his patented line, War Games! I feel like I kind of hit that there. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I feel like I hit that. They're pretty good. But War Games, and right now it's only 3-on-3, but I think a Beast might be coming back pretty soon. Or I have a little theory on who two of the other people for the Vision could be. And then no LA Knight on the show, also no Jimmy Uso on the show, but I kind of think that those two might be the other two for War Games. But I don't know. We gotta watch next week to find out. They gotta fill out this teams because they're definitely not gonna do a 3-on-3 War Games. But we gotta go to the Last Time Is Now tournament once again. Sheamus versus Shinsuke. This was a fun match. This was kind of cool seeing a 45-year-old Shinsuke and a 47-year-old Sheamus, or whatever they are. I'm pretty sure I got those right. I like seeing these two legends just go at it. Shinsuke's not washed anymore. He got his wrestling back, and I loved it. Shinsuke hits a little enziguri. Sheamus bounces off the rope. Brogue kick. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus advances. They show respect. They both lift up their hands, which they lift up each other's arms, but I was very confused by this because Shinsuke came out to his heel, like Titantron and everything, and I go, oh, they just made him a face. Why'd they make him a heel again? But he's not a heel. They just messed up the Titantron, which is good. But we have this match, but we got to find out who's fighting on Raw next week for the Last Time Is Now tournament. And, oh man, we got a banger. First, we'll talk about Solo Sikoa versus the mystery opponent. Now, I really don't know who this is going to be. I'm going to suggest the same guys that I suggested last week from TNA. Probably Matt Cardona. Maybe Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy versus Solo would kind of be a weird match. That would be kind of solid. But we got Javon Evans versus Gunther. That is going to be such a banger. I am so excited. And I talked about doing the NXT Saturday Night's main event things. And I was going to say, well, if Gunther isn't Cena's last match, he should be on the card and he should face Javon Evans. I was going to say that in my video. But now they're going to fight next week on Raw. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so hype. But we got to talk about something else that was very hype, which is the main event. And, man, there have been so many fun women's tag title matches this year. It is going to be so difficult to choose, like some of these awards when I do them at the end of the year. And Alexa and Charlotte, they're going to win because Flair has the figure 8 in and Alexa hits the Wyatt DDT, but Nia and Lash Legend kind of stop Flair from locking it fully in, and Alexa Bliss gets thrown over. The ref has no awareness at all. Kind of a little, very obviously messed up, which I didn't like, but it's okay. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. But Alexa gets thrown over the announce table. The Kabuki Warriors set up for their Kabuki elbow drop, insane elbow. Do they have a name for it? They do. They need to have one. And 1, 2, 3. And two new champions on this show. Well, 3, because this is tag titles, but I'm okay with the Kabuki Warriors winning, and shout out to Charlotte for taking the pin, especially from Kairi. That doesn't happen too often, but I'm happy. And Kabuki Warriors and Nia Jax and Lash Legend kind of have a little face-off, but they just start beating down Charlexa Fliss. And they join forces, and we get the return of the women's wrestling GOAT, Io Sky, but it doesn't last very long. She gets beat up. They start beating up all 3 of them again, and this is my brutality, We got Rhea coming out, with the mask again. I guess it's going to be a Survivor Series tradition because she broke her nose in Japan on the Japan tour, but they fight him off. Rhea grabs a mic and yells, "War Games!" You don't need William Regal to do it when you got Rhea Ripley to do it. Man. So it's 4-on-4, and I kind of think because of the teaser last week, we had Becky Lynch kind of going face-to-face with the Kabuki Warriors. I think Becky Lynch is on one side, and I think a returning AJ Lee is on the other side. And, that's going to be a great Women's War Games match. I am so excited. Way more excited for the Women's War Games match than the men's. And that was Monday Night Raw. The GOAT is now the Grand Slam GOAT. We got the men's War Games shaping up. We got the women's War Games shaping up. And we got a match of the year, a very late match of the year contender next week in Javon Evans and Gunther. Very excited for that. But that was Raw. And for right now, that's it.